So Yugi and Joey are on the boat to Duelist Kingdom to get some money and to save Yugi's grandpa. They meet Weevil, they all start talking, and Weevil asks to see Exodia. According to my research, you have an Exodia? I would love to examine the card. Then for whatever reason, Yugi decides to let this weirdo touch his card. Even if you didn't expect him to do what he did, just by looking at him, you can assume he's someone's top subscriber, and you know he has clammy, jizzy hands. So just by that, I wouldn't let him touch my shoe. When Weevil got the cards, he did the only athletic act he has probably ever done and chucked the 5 Exodia cards into the ocean. This Exodia, very powerful card, but is it more powerful than H2O salt? Bye-bye, Exodia. Joey, being a W man, jumped in after the cards. So right now we already have a problem. Joey and Yugi should have jumped Weevil and chucked him into the ocean with the cards, because they're on international waters, so they can't be charged for anything. But unfortunately, Joey wasn't able to get all the cards. I'm real sorry, you bro. Your Exodia's lost my heart. We should low-key jump Weevil fam.
Don't worry, Joey. I have other cards just as good as Exodia.
Which we all know is a lie, because at this time, Yugi's deck isn't the best, and without Exodia, he's low-key kinda cooked. Now the Pharaoh needs to work overtime with his voodoo magic, aka cheating. They finally get to the island, and Yugi was on a hot and ran down on Weevil. Surprisingly, Weevil was able to run fast enough to not get caught for like a cool distance. I guess when you goon every day, your body gets lighter, I don't know, and it makes you move faster. Then they finally get to a stadium, and quickly, can we appreciate how much money Pegasus really has? Because he was able to get about 1 million stadiums to pop out of a deserted island at any time. If that is not motion, I don't know what is. It's time, Yugi. Since you beat Kaiba, if I beat you, I'll be number 1 and be able to buy all the OF subscriptions in the world.
Pathetic. Just for that, I'm cutting your screen time from the rest of the show. Let's bet all our stars, and whoever loses, leaves. It's time to duel.
So they get to dueling. Weevil summons a bee, Yugi summons a dead elephant. These cards have the same attack points, and for some reason, Yugi decides to attack. But for those who play Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you and your opponent have a card with the exact same attack points, unless you have no other cards in your hand and you're about to lose and you just need to get that card off the field, you wouldn't attack. But Yugi made a mistake, because on this island where they're at, the bugs get an attack point boost and Yugi takes damage. You incompetent nincompoop. I was able to get secret details on this from one of my jerkmate buddies, and he informed me that cards get a power up depending on the location. And it just so happens my insects have the advantage. You cheating, son.
Look again, Weevil.
Then for some reason, Weevil's bee gets destroyed because Yugi's dead elephant also got the same power boost, and they both had the same attack points. So now they're both destroyed.
You stupid gooner. You really thought I wouldn't notice? On the way here, I was wondering, why on Raw's Green Earth would we need to go to an island to play a card game? And then it made sense as soon as you started talking about bonuses. We came to this island because it has all the elements. So when your seaman saying so led us here, I knew you were trying to get the advantage.
You may have fooled me this time, but the duel is not over yet. Then Weevil summoned Heracross and Yugi summoned Feral Imp and gave it a unicorn horn, which gave it enough points to destroy Heracross. Quick side note, they're not playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! We are used to, so they can't attack each other directly. So it's kind of like a Pokemon battle with spells and traps. So Weevil's Heracross uses Sonic Boom and Feral Imp uses Thunderbolt. Then Feral Imp loses the battle because apparently monsters who get a bonus aren't affected by spells, which doesn't make sense because the unicorn horn was attached to the imp, so that's kind of dumb. Well done, Heracross. When this is over, I'll let you eat my tissues after I use them. It's your turn, Yugi. Then Yugi places the card in defense mode. Then Weevil summons a gangster ant and gives it a Glock and then attaches a switch. Now for all the anthropods you have squashed over the years and my fellow gooners, it's time for revenge. Gangster ant, attack. Then Yugi sets another card. Then Weevil sets a card for himself. As long as I have my face down, you won't be able to attack. How are you liking being trapped in my web fluid? Then Weevil summons another monster. Yugi sets another monster. And then they go do that for a while until Yugi summoned Dark Magician and Weevil decided to attack it.
Gotcha. You got distracted shooting your webs. You didn't notice I was shooting my own.
What do you mean? I thought you only placed monsters. Not even lying, that was the actual reason Weevil didn't notice that Yugi was setting traps. How he didn't notice, even though it's on a computer screen in front of his eyes and he wears glasses. So all in all, that makes it the ultimate skill issue moment, because Yugi had Mirror Force waiting for him and that cleared his whole field and dealt him damage somehow. First of all, that's not what Mirror Force does, and second, I'm gonna need that just for me in Duel Links, because if everyone else is allowed to cheat, I should be allowed to cheat too. You may have destroyed my precious goon bugs, but I still have my giant cocoon, and when it busts open, this duel will be over.
Blah blah blah. Shut up and play, bug boy.
Then Weevil places a face down card. Now Yugi's thinking, if I attack, he'll activate his trap. Then he does a big brain move by returning his cards to his hand and summons a Karibo to activate the trap. You silly ignoramus, I tricked you into activating my trap to summon a Larvitar, and I used my cocoon. During the next 5 turns, he'll transform into my strongest goon bug, Volcarena. Also, it gets an extra bonus to its defense points. Now Yugi's worried because he's not sure he has a monster that can stop the cocoon from hatching. And then, like an idiot, he summons Gaia, who has less attack points than the cocoon's defense points, and he still attacked, but alright. Not gonna lie, the Pharaoh might need to go on Fraud Watch for that, because that was kinda dumb. Then Yugi starts playing some defense.
Am I really about to let this short gooner beat me?
Hey Yug, you need to get fired up, my heart.
Hold on, Joey. You might have just cooked.
Then Yugi summons Curse of Dragon and gives it Flamethrower, which allowed him to burn the field around the cocoon. I know this isn't a regular Yu-Gi-Oh, but it gets to a point, because why is this happening? Oh my god, I love old Yu-Gi-Oh, it's so funny. Oh no, my cocoon loses its bonus. Curse you, Yugi. Then Yugi attacks with Gaia and destroys the cocoon. Then, even though it hasn't been 5 turns, Weevil's Volcarena gets summoned. The reason is it still got summoned because it evolved enough to survive, which is outright cheating, because I found what the card really said, and it said 4 turns, but he said 5 turns. I'm not sure what it was in the old days, so that makes it invalid. This duel is over, Yugi. Now that my strongest Goonbug has arrived, after I win, I'm gonna go into the bushes for a celebratory wank.
This duel isn't over yet, Weevil. I'm gonna make sure that never happens. Also, do you have internet out here? Never mind, make your move.
Then Volcarena attacks Gaia, but to save his card, Yugi activates Polymerization during Weevil's turn and infuse Gaia with Cursed Dragon to make Gaia the Dragon Champion. I'm not going to talk about how that's not supposed to work at all, but that didn't save Yugi, because apparently Volcarena is actually a Dustox and has Poison Wind that lowers Gaia's attack points. Then Yugi activates Rain to stop the poison. Then Weevil attacks and destroys Gaia, leaving Yugi with 50 life points. If you think I'm lying, go watch the show. This is the actual sequence of events that happened. I can smell the lotion already. Make your move. Sophie Rain is waiting for me.
You might not want to whip out the lotion yet, because I'm not done. I summon Skull.
Then the final act of cheating happens because Dustox got soaked by the rain and there's still rain on the field. Summon Skull gets an extra 1,000 attack points and destroys Dustox, letting Yugi win.
I win, Weevil. Now give me your stars and the internet password. And go have a sad goon back at home.
All in all, that was a pretty good way to start off the Duelist Kingdom. Yugi beating the regional champion. First off, really made him top dog for real. All the cheating, we love to see it. Not gonna lie, some of it didn't make sense. They were making things up as they went along, but that is the charm of original Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you've been watching these videos, let me know your thoughts on them. I'm trying something new out, so let me know what other fights you want me to cover. Jesus Christ, I can't cover about card game anime, because I only have 3 card game anime I've watched so far, and that is Vanguard, Buddy Fight, and Yu-Gi-Oh! So let me know if there's anything else I should be watching. Thank you.